Should you please yourself? And that was horrible wording, but you should please yourself. Back at it again, baby, and we got Russell Brand debating Candace Owens. Now, very, very interesting thing is I know who Candace Owens is. Well, kind of. I've heard of the name, and I could recognize her face, but I've never sat down and listened to any of her speeches or debates or anything like that, so this is my first time. Like, share, comment, hit that subscribe button if you're new. Go and join the new Discord server too. It's the first link in the description box below. Let's go.
Do you like Candace Owens, or do you absolutely detest her? Do you like me, or do you absolutely loathe me? Wherever you stand on two polarizing figures, here we are in conversation. Now, obviously, we talk about politics. Particularly, I wanted to press Candace Owens on the idea that most people that live in systems of elitism and privilege are in those positions because of advantages that have been endowed upon them. Candace Owens, more of an individualist than I am, you might imagine, strongly contests my perspective. Hopefully, we remain respectful and light and kind with one another while vehemently disagreeing. I'm going to have further conversations with Candace Owens, so look out for those. This conversation took place on my podcast, Under the Skin, available on Luminary. You can subscribe to it. There's a link in the description. Let me know what you think about this conversation in the comments below.
Look,
I agree.
I think I might like this guy, Russell Brand. He said, hopefully we remain, basically he said, hopefully we remain respectful while we completely disagree. And that's one of the things that I've always touched on is we aren't enemies. We aren't, going to war against each other. We just disagree on certain things. Like, that's all right. That's not the end of the world. So yeah, that's one of the stances that I strongly believe in. Like, we should be able to have conversations with one another, even if we disagree.
But do you not think this individualistic culture is in itself destroying the principles at a spiritual, human level of community? Do you not think when people see this economic inequality, this disparity, I'm not talking about hating your little rich friend Lola Bell or whoever it was, you went round to see her nanny and were infuriated by it, but thought, oh, well, maybe one day I'll have my own nanny. Do you not think that economic inequality creates in a human being a sense of injustice, of unfairness? Because people, do you know what, Candace? 90% of people that are rich, do you know why they're rich? They was born rich.
Okay, I can tell you something. I think that economic disparity creates that feeling, but a fundamental understanding in economics can help you.
Do you know that
conquer
the most people that are rich are born rich? It's not like there's a tiny minority of people that are like you that come from a poor background and manage to overcome it. And this is what's a problem I've noticed with a lot of great people, is they sort of believe that their greatness is something that can be replicated, and I don't think it can.
I see. So I believe in the individual, you don't. That's our fundamental differences.
That the primary goal of the individual should be to serve the community.
I do not believe that the primary goal of
what
an
do you think the
individual-
primary
I
goal
think
of the
that once an
individual should be?
individual
To
feels
serve
that they
the
have
individual.
served, so you're discounting the human spirit.
I'm
The
not discounting
Yes,
it. I'm
is.
saying that's all
Let me
there
ask you-
is.
Let me ask you. No, there's not. In a humanity, think of animals in the wild. You don't even have to go to humanity. We can just think about animals in the wild. What is our human instinct? Okay, are you going to make sure that everyone on this block is fed before you feed yourself? Do you go around and say, "Hey, have you had breakfast this morning? Hey, have you had breakfast this morning? Hey, have you?" Or are you going to make sure you're eating? And if you have an excess, of course you're going to do the human condition, and our incentives are going to be to want to help
Are you
people.
mental? Excess. The richest 15 people on the planet have got as much accumulative wealth as the poorest 5 billion.
But
that's
talking
an excess.
No.
That's an excess.
Okay. Excuse me. First and foremost, you're talking about literally 0.00001% of the world is what
Let's
you're talking
get 'em.
about. Okay,
Let's
but
get 'em.
and what are they preaching? What do they want? Socialism, so that nobody else has the opportunity to become what they've become. They're the ones that are pushing forward.
Socialism.
Yes,
That's not
they
real
are.
socialism. Well,
Are you kidding? George Soros doesn't want socialist policies. Jeff Bezos, the richest man in the world, doesn't want socialist policies. They want to make sure that no one else has the opportunity to get to where they got.
We need to discuss our.
I think there's a balance within life that should be had. Should you please yourself? And that was horrible wording, but you should please yourself. Should you put yourself first? And actually, no, I think I put a poll on Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, it is The Real Doc Rich across all social media, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, all that stuff. I put a poll on Instagram and I asked you guys, would you put yourself first? Basically, I can't remember the exact wording, but basically I kind of asked you guys, would you put yourself first? And overwhelmingly, I think it was like over 98% of you guys said, yes, I'm putting myself first. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. There's got to be a balance. There's got to be a balance to a lot of things in life, right? Let's get back to it.
Language, me and you, because what
We do.
Here's what my socialism looks like. take Jeff Bezos' wealth from him, except for a reasonable stipend for him to live on. Something like, he can have 10 million a year or something. Tax Amazon to the ground.
So the rich people pay for 85% of all of the taxes. You think they should pay for even more?
Do you think
that's fact? That's fact. Yes.
Don't look at me with
I'm telling
that's
you,
fact
that's a fact.
face.
The top 10%
He said, "Don't look at me with that's facts face."
pay for 85% of all the taxes. When people say they're going to raise their taxes more, I'm just like, how much more? Should we just say just pay for all the taxes?
I say this, that there is no, when you're about to use an example from the natural world, and then
I'm talking about
you
America,
backed
by
off
the way.
it,
I forgot
you?
that I'm in. No, I was gonna say the instinct when you're in the natural world is that you feed your family first. You're not the idea that socialism tries to create goes
we
against
are no longer
human.
in the natural world, are we? We're in a world of sort of accumulation and excess, and I don't think it's even working. I wonder about sort of look, I want, because you could say, where do you draw the line? Because look at me, I've got money now, I'm not poor anymore, and I'm not going, right, I'll just take everything that's, the thing that I do agree with when I see like sort of right-wing commentators talk, like they talk about people that are, in inverted commas, from the left, and they go, well, why don't you put some refugees in your house? Why don't you give up your money? And the reason is because people are selfish, and in all of us, there is a kind of battle between, like some of my impulses, Candace, are, I just want pleasure and fun, and I don't care about anything except myself. That's in me. That's in me, and it's strong. But I personally think I don't feel good when I live that way. There are consequences for me, and there are consequences for others. So I kind of want to live within systems that encourage collective and communal values. That instead
theft. We're talking about theft.
No, we're not talking about
demanding that people give up their stuff is theft. But it sounds pretty when you say
Listen,
encourage incentives. No, when the government comes and demands that I give to someone else, that's theft.
You keep translating what I'm saying
I'm helping
into.
you.
No, you're not helping me.
He's talking about theft.
You're translating
Not
what I'm
necessarily.
saying into rhetoric that you can argue with, creating straw men of my words as we go, so
not
you
straw
can kick
men.
them
That
over.
is theft.
No, that's. I'm not saying that.
If the government did come in and take from people, that is theft. Like we get Jeff Bezos is rich as hell. Like I mean, like what the fuck do you do with that type of money at this point in time? We all get that, yeah. But I can't be mad at the guy. He earned it. He created something that we all use, and I don't want to say need. That we all use. Need is a very strong word. I almost said need, but something that a lot of us use. Amazon is so easy to use. I can just sit here, tap a few buttons, do, ding dong. Somebody brings my shit right to my door. I don't even have to walk in the store. He created something that was very, very valuable to the consumer. Is he excessively rich? Of course. Like, after fucking 50 billion, like, well, what do you do with that kind of money? Like, honestly, I wouldn't even want to be that type of rich, because I feel like it would be hard to get out of the bed every day. What do you chase? So I'm sitting here editing this video, and obviously I'm watching it, I'm listening to it back through, as I'm editing and chopping some parts out. A line came to my mind that Eminem said that I think is really relevant in this moment right here. I think it's from a song called Believe. He said, how do you keep up the pace and the hunger pains once you've won the race? When that dual exhaust is cooling off, you ain't got nothing left to prove it all, because you've already hit him with the coup de grace. And I feel like that's relevant in that moment, because, I was speaking about like having something to chase in that moment. And once you've already won, like, how do you keep up that pace? How do you keep those hunger pains still there? Like, when you've got nothing left to prove, I did it, and that's why I said I would never want to be that rich, because I don't know if I would be able to overcome that feeling of, yeah, I did it, because there's literally nothing else to accomplish after that point. Like, there's nothing on this earth that I wouldn't be able to do at that point. Like, I don't know. Do y'all feel me? Let me know in the comment section if I'm tweaking or not. Let's get back to the video. I feel like part of the fun in this journey of life, in accumulating like wealth or generational wealth, is the chase. Like the hunt. Part of the fun is the hunt. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Y'all let me know how you feel.
I'm not espousing the values of big government. I'm not saying that there's any political party that currently exists that in any way represents my views. I'm just asking if in politics, both personally and collectively, there's room for a little more compassion and love. And whilst I agree with your that there is something easy to fetishize about individual achievements in your own case or wherever we see greatness, we can't take that example of the ability of the individual to overcome adversity to condemn people that haven't been able to. Like, where is there a role then for compassion and kindness? I'm not saying let's create a big government and take away all
in politics. So my thing is that the conversation should be completely separate. Americans give $500 billion in charity every single year. Okay, it has been proven that when you lower the tax rate, when government stays out of our paycheck, we actually give more. That we're inclined to. If you have more money and you're able to do it, of course you want to give and you want to help. When the government is saying we're going to tax your business, if you're successful, you're going to get taxed more. What is the incentive for you to want to jump and build a business if you know that you're going to be penalized for it? You're going to be penalized for success. That's why we believe in limited government. When I say we, obviously.
I disagree to a certain extent with that.
See, I work for an organization, Turning Point USA.
Oh yeah, what's that all about?
It's a winning
Turning
back.
Point.
Turning Point
What
USA. We're launching it in the UK,
You're
TP UK. That's what this whole trip is about. It sounds
You're
good
hold
too.
on a minute. You're launching Turning Point, and like Turning Point is what? What do you want us to turn to?
It's conservative principles taught in the school system because the kids are learning this lolly-dolly merry-go-round. The world's going to be purple and we're all going to have lollipops in the school systems, and then possibly from your podcast. I guess I haven't watched enough episodes. And it's just not. It's the truest, the economic model of letting people find success because they're willing to work hard. If you don't want to work hard, you shouldn't be rewarded. I don't believe in that. I don't believe, well, what about the person who doesn't have your drive?
Why should economic systems govern the way that we live our lives? Why?
I agree with what she just said. If you don't want to work hard, then you shouldn't be rewarded for that. Let me know if you agree, disagree, why not. Let's have a conversation about it, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people have some differing opinions, especially on a topic like this. Let me know, please. Honest opinions too. Keep it honest.
Why is there not room for people to be different? Why is it that a person's
You can't be
value and
different.
worth should be distilled into
That's called the natural
economic
market. You can't make
units?
that go away.
That's not called the natural
Yes, it is.
market.
You can't make that
You've
go
applied
away,
that
no matter
idea
what.
to-
Tell me in the history of the world where there hasn't been some give and some take. You can't make that go away. There's no magic wand that you can wave that's going to make human incentives and what happens in humanity go away. Doesn't matter how rich or how poor society is. There's going to be give. There's going to be take. People are going to create natural markets. I have 3 apples. I'll give you 2 apples if you give me this. I mean, that it just happens. This is the way the
Sure.
world works.
Yeah, I appreciate that we have certain natural impulses to trade and to cooperate.
Well, if you're enjoying that conversation with Candace, let me know who you thought made the best points. Who do you agree with more? Who do you disagree with, for heaven's sake? If you
I think Russell made some great points, but I think for the most part, I would probably lean towards Candace. I did agree with Russell when he was kind of touching on the fact that, the people of like Jeff Bezos of the world have excess amounts of money, but at the same time, like, what do you do about that? You can't just take it away from them. So it's just a matter of maybe teaching the next generation how to be more creative and come up with better ideas to create generational wealth like Jeff Bezos has or something. I don't think you should punish people, like the Jeff Bezos of the world, because he was able to create that kind of wealth. Like, that's what this is about. Like, create something that people want. Y'all let me know how you feel about it in the comment section. If you agree, disagree, why not? Let me know. Like, share, comment, hit that subscribe button if you're new. Peace and love. I'm gonna see y'all in the next video too. I'm out.